Hello, YouTube. This is BUB'S Comics coming at you with the No Faces Comic Chat. Woohoo! Got the band back together, y'all. That's right. And with me, as always, to Wolverine's left, I think, we have DS Comics.
What's up, everyone? And I'm not set up for any type of video today, so you just get to see my pulsating horrific one emblem.
Nice. We like the pulsating horrific.
What you when I talk on my end, I don't know if everybody is seeing it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's going.
All right, good deal.
And with us, as almost always, he took one of them their hiatuses last week, but back from his jungle safari, we have Metarog. Say greetings, everyone.
Greetings, everyone. Great to be back.
Oh, we're glad. You didn't have any touch of them there malaria or jungle fever down there where you was at, did you?
No, it was too cold for mosquitoes, so no malaria for sure. Yeah, no quinine necessary.
All right, we're glad about that. We don't like to hear you getting sick or anything, so glad to have you in the house. And we've got, of course, in the chat, we got some great all-stars here already. We got from Hero to Icon. We got Metarog, of course. We got Bigglesworth, Ben Compton, Bad Dad 320, King of Comicdom Lawrence is here. We have Area 51, Mike. Hello. We got Tim, the comic collector. You almost caught me there. You got Seawater 19. That was close one at Hialeah Comic Bros in the house. We got Unruly Simeon, Man from Beantown. You guys, Rod's here, just a reeking in his comics. Always glad to have old in the house. Welcome. And we got Harry Zlatos in the house as well. Boy, you guys are all here. Thank you so much for joining us. 18 in the chat already. If you haven't hit that like button, now's a good time because Roger's about to talk, and that should give you about 3 minutes solid of downtime, whatever you want to do. But we love him. We missed you, Roger, last week. We really did. Isn't that true, DS? As we rehearsed, DS, tell him.
We missed you a lot, Roger. And let me also, since he's here in the chat, give props to Hialeah. He's been on here a couple times, and he sort of took over your reins last week, Roger, and did a great job. But we definitely did miss you, of course.
Thank you. Great job. Yeah, Hialeah, Raul is fabulous. I mean, if one of those things, if I'm not there and Raul's there, it's you don't lose a whole lot, because he's from my old neighborhood. So, we're similar in many regards as far as our upbringing. So that's cool. And let me tell you, I was in the chat for like the first half hour, 40 minutes. And then I was in some not little, but a hotel in the middle of Louisiana. There, some small town. It just gave out. I mean, it was like, boom, nothing. So I don't know what happened after 40 minutes in. So.
Well, what I also like is when Hialeah stepped in and you weren't here, he seems to agree with me a lot, which I really dig. So love that aspect of it.
Well, he's just being nice, and he's not trying to upset anybody. But like once we've been around for a year and a half, we're like, who cares?
We got 84 Kenny's in the house as well, and Tom's Comic Books and Reviews. I think that's a new name for an old channel, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can probably help me out on that. 24 live in the chat right now. I want to thank you all for joining us. Our team name, all right? Our team name, I'm going to leave it up to Roger because I'm convinced DS won't like it. It doesn't hit on any of the things he looks for. So, Roger, do you recall our team name?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. The front cover folders. Yes.
Yes, the front cover folders.
Yes, very good. Very good.
And you remember like remember riding your bike and you there's a fine line between a magazine and a comic. But there was probably a time that I'm sure most of you can relate to that you probably didn't want to have a comic sticking out of your back pocket. So you curl it up real good, and you stick it in there, and it was like a little. Do you remember that feeling, guy? Maybe you guys didn't experience this, but I remember coming home and uncurling that comic book on my bed. I sit on my bed and I would uncurl the comic book on my bed and I would look through it very quickly, but I didn't look through it that long. I didn't have much time. I'd look through it very quickly and then I would immediately stash it because usually when I was buying comics, there were ill-gotten gains. I wasn't really supposed to be buying them. It wasn't, it was on money that I had like shaved off of grocery trips. So, yeah. So I wasn't
pretty much
supposed
the
to be
same as
buying
what you do now, in other words.
Yeah, very, very much the same.
Oh, okay. All right.
So always trying to work with found money there, Roger.
Yeah, any of my comics when I was really young, probably like 10-ish is when I started reading comics. And I just kept them raw in like, it might have been a shoebox, but it was wide enough that there was room on both sides. So the comics, I just stacked them up. So they got a little spine roll, but I never folded any in half. And then when I became like, 13, 14, and I discovered bags and boards at the comic store, everything went in there. And I was so OCD about bags and boards. And so I've never actually folded a comic book up. And I think that's part of the reason subscription creases bug me so much, because I don't have any nostalgic connection to those. I just see it as an annoying line down the middle of the book. So, but yeah, I mean, my friends used to fold their comics up and put them in their back pocket when we rode our bikes back across the bridge from the comic store, and I had them in bags and boards, and it was much harder to ride the bike when you're holding a stack of bags and boards. So I think maybe they were onto something at the time, but now I definitely got the better of it.
Cool.
That's fair.
Cool.
I remember that I couldn't read them during the daytime, so I would save them around my bed, like stash them under stuff. And my room was always a mess anyway. And then I would crawl into bed at night, and I had a flashlight under my bed. And I would, under the cover, I would read the comics by flashlight. And always trying to I remember that sometimes the flashlight would be too bright because I shared a room with my brother. So I'd have to put my hand over it, and it would just glow kind of pink out on the pages, and that's all that I would read like that. So yeah, maybe that's why connection means nothing to me, because sometimes I would wake up and I would have a comic cover stuck to my back where I fell asleep reading it and just ripped the cover off, rolling around in bed that night. So
nice.
Yeah, I was hard on my stuff.
Wow. Yeah. I did the same thing with the flashlight because I was supposed to be in bed by 10, right? And
yeah,
or not, depending, weekends 10. And yeah, I had a flashlight stashed, on the footboard. There was a little gap, and I would stash a couple flashlights in there. And that, at night I would just, crawl over there, get it, and went at it underneath the covers.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I got nothing with those memories. I'd be horrified doing that now with some of my books. Maybe some of them I still wouldn't mind. If I had a True Believers, I believe I would fold that up 6 times to get it into my pocket and probably not care. So
no way, dude. You can slab those True Believers in 9.8 and sell them on eBay for like $300.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sure.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, look, I'm not against the believers or the reprints. I think they're awesome, and I don't even have a problem slabbing them because they make nice displays. If you're working on all your Silver Age or Bronze Age keys and you're missing that ASM 129 or you're missing that ASM 1, pick up a True Believers 9.8 slab to go with your other slab legit copies as a placeholder so that the wall looks complete and it's still the image of the book. That's cool. But people are thinking like it's a highly collectible 9.8, and it's not. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with buying a few and getting one slab and throwing it up on the wall next to the other ones as a placeholder, or just if you want that book and you don't want to put a poster on your wall. So, and they're cool to read. I have some True Believers here that I read, and they're good, but I just don't see I would advise anybody not to spend a lot of money on a slab of True Believers. That's just my advice.
All right, but we're not talking about True Believers today.
Unless you're going to get it signed.
Yeah, let's try.
Well, you get it signed by Stan Lee, then you got a $500 book.
Usually those True Believers are iconic. First appearances, keys, the whole. That's not what we're talking about today. Quite the opposite. Okay.
Yes.
This is not a no faces chat where you're going to see a lot of Byrne. You're not going to see a lot of, the George Perez. You're not going to see a lot of those guys. You're going to see a lot of guys that you've never heard of, and some that you're surprised that they did some covers that they did. That's what this show is about.
That's right. And we're excited about it. If you got picked too much, it's all Roger's fault.
It is.
I had a really busy day today, and I didn't get around to picking a topic. I get a little lazy with the topic picking on days where it's just the three of us. The first thing they always ask is, what's the topic going to be? So sometimes I'll book somebody like a full week out, and then they're like, well, what's the topic? I'm like, well, heck, I don't know what the topic is. I haven't got that.
It's not Monday yet. It's not Monday morning yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I try to book people on Friday or Sunday at the latest. Very rarely would I holler at somebody on Monday and say, can you do it tonight? So I try not to do that, but it still happens. But anyway.
So you want me to explain
if
what today's
you
all
want
about?
To start off.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's the first show of the year, and usually we have you have resolutions, and you want to start anew. Well, we do want to start anew, but sometimes you have to remember the things you're running away from, right? The things that you want to get better at, right? So I figured, hey, why not show some examples of covers that could really be better, that either for many reasons are not top notch, whether they be in the implementation, whether they be in the concept, whether they be in just poorly designed, or subjectively cruddy or objectively cruddy. I selected a good pile of what I consider to be really the bottom of the barrel kind of covers, and certainly considering that the era and the artists that were available, that they should be a lot better. Okay, so I figured. So Bub said, "Hey, I don't have a topic," so I said, "Hey, why not that?" And he was like, "DS was like, yeah, I'm okay with that." Bub says, "Okay, done." So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show you some of the worst covers around, guys. Yay! Are you ready?
And I hope people don't get their feelings hurt, because some of your favorite artists may be on, even great artists have bad days. So that's the way I choose to look at it. So some of your favorite artists may be on here. Doesn't mean they're terrible artists. It just means that, they had a bad day.
Yeah, and this is just our opinion and our likes and tastes. So, who cares about that anyway, right? You collect what you like, and that's what matters. Okay, so I'll start. I had Bub on the mind with this one, okay, because it is a cover that has bothered me for years. Okay? Years. All right. Yeah. Okay, because this thing, there's all kinds of things wrong with this, right? I mean, look at that leg bent. I mean, I know he has healing power, but all ligaments must be gone on that left knee. I mean, look at that angle. I mean, and his egg is elongated here and then shorter over here. And then what are those guards in front? Are those wings? What are those things on the shin guards there? And where's the background? You put a web back there. That's it. And then it's not even talking about Spidey. Spidey looks like he has been compressed. He looks almost like a gnome. And then what's up with these claws over here? They look to be almost taller than Spidey. Again, very poorly. The proportions are wrong. The background is lazy. The leg is ridiculous. It's almost like he's partially Mr. Fantastic, and the gross, shall we say, proportions of that leg guard or those wings or whatever those things are, totally impractical. Just a terrible cover, backwards and forwards.
100% agree. I always thought the claws on Wolverine's left hand were obscenely gigantic. I mean, that arm is not that far away from his body. It's 3 feet long. It shouldn't be the size of Spidey.
Right. And I know this is Bub's favorite character and everything, But like we said, sometimes, you know, this was Bob Layton here who did this, and I don't know what he was thinking here. I really don't know. I really don't get what. Doesn't tell you anything about the story either. That's another whole issue bugaboo that I have. But somebody who should have said, "Hey, scrap this. That leg in front looks terrible. At least that."
Yeah, and also there's something in art called a tangent, which I think artists, it's a good idea to stay away from those.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they made Wolverine's left leg so big and sticking out, it goes right up and touches where Spidey's leg is, and it makes like a weird tangent. Like there's no reason for those to be overlapping like that and touching. You just make that leg smaller, and then you can see all of Spidey, all of Wolverine as separate figures. They shouldn't be like that tangential touching of the figures down there. It's poorly done. I agree.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, very good point. So that's number one for me. What do you guys got?
Well, I mean, I'll show a few.
I figure we just go round and round, and we can each show one at a time or something.
All right, so I got it set up today where I'm just doing screen share. So yeah, let's see how many subs I can lose today. That's what this segment's called. So these are going to be some of the bigger books that I think have horrible covers. And we'll see who agrees with me and who doesn't. So I'll just run through a few of them here. All right, here's one I think is absolutely atrocious. No background at all, like a lime green background, horrible. The spider webs, the webbing underneath his arms where his lats are. What is that? It's curved on one side. Like it's horrible. It looks like graph paper. And it's just, I don't know. I know this is a top artist, obviously everybody knows who it is, but just like he just mailed it in on this one. And there's no background. There's a lime green. Spidey is lazily drawn, I think. He doesn't really look like he's in an action pose. He's hanging down and swinging, sort of, but he doesn't even look like he's swinging. And then, you know, even the faces on the villains in the back, those enforcers, nothing done to them. It looks like I don't know. I think this is a horrible, horrible cover.
Yeah, it's definitely minimalist, and like you said, there's no action really going on other than Spidey, and he's kind of his angle is almost, it's weird. It's almost like he's in a V shape and with these spindly legs. It's not a well conceived cover, and definitely not the background is non-existent, and that lime puke green. Yeah, it doesn't work at all.
Yeah, and even on the bottom, they usually spice up the way they have word bubbles or little boxes with descriptions. But on the bottom, just in blue font, not even lined up with the words with each other. I'm not talking about that bottom edge, obviously it's a photo, but in this issue, learn why J. Jonah Jameson really hates Spider-Man. Like, you can't even hardly see it. They could, it's very poorly executed by a fantastic artist, but I think it's a terrible cover.
Good. Yeah.
And then let me show one more.
And tell everybody who that fantastic artist is. You're not going to get away with that. There could be somebody who doesn't know watching. We've got 30 people in the chat. There's no telling.
And, you know, Steve Ditko is a great artist. Let me show you another one by Steve Ditko that I think is horrible. There's a couple in these early Spideys that I think are just terrible. This one, horrible cover. I know the Green Goblin is pulling on the web that I guess Spider-Man had thrown at some point. But I mean, what is that? It's like a smoke tube or something. It's horrible. And he's like, the perspectives are all wrong. It's just terrible. I mean, what is that yellow starburst? Is that where the web is being pulled off, or something smacking into that, or what's going on with that? And it's just like Spidey swinging around this pole. The background, you can't really tell what that machinery is. It's poorly done, and it's just that webbing is just, it's terrible. And even the cross hatching is lazily done. It's like something a middle schooler would do. It's not filled in half the time, and it's just, I don't know. It looks like it was added on or something. I don't know. This one bugs the hell out of me, and I don't know. I think it's terrible.
Yeah, I think the Goblin figure is well done.
the Goblin's
action.
great, and Spider-Man figure is okay, but
and the Spider-Man figure is okay. But you're
I
right.
can't get
Everything
past
else,
that webbing smoke tube thing.
yeah, everything else, the perspective is a little bit odd, and we have two pumpkins in the air at the same time. I don't know how he can do that with one hand, and he's got one other hand on the webbing.
I know, Diaz.
Practicality.
You better move along off this one. The chat is not agreeing with you on this one. They're not feeling it. They're liking this cover a lot better than you are. You better find another one up there.
All right, let me find one more, and we'll see what people think of this one.
Yeah, I only partially agree with that one, but
this one makes me dizzy because I guess he's on the ceiling, or is he? Is he on the wall? It's like the perspectives on this, I don't get, and the vultures, I don't know. It's disconcerting, and this one makes me anxious to look at because I just don't like the perspective. It's the way the figures are drawn and the way the perspective is supposed to be is off-putting. And it's tough to look at and get a sense of how the action is unfolding on this cover. So I think the perspective on this destroys whatever story is being told on this cover. That's just my opinion on that one. But yeah, I mean, again, these are Ditko covers, great artist. I think these are some of his worst, quote, best work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This one, I think this one may be a little bit like, Ditko did a lot of symbolism and allegorical type covers. And this one might be one of those, the despair. You can't even see Spidey's face. So he's mixed up. He's upside down, that kind of thing. Maybe.
And is that the Sandman there too?
Yes, that's the Sandman.
Okay. I
mean, yes. And why is Spidey's foot in the Sandman? What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't think those are actually them. They're like illusions or maybe manifestations of his memory or something. Ditko did a lot of things like that where they weren't actually there, but it was based on the the anxiety that Spider-Man was feeling at the time. So that's why I think this one is more of a symbolic.
Yeah, so I think Spider-Man is sort of crouching on the ground and thinking about this, but is he picturing the room upside down? I mean, you know what I mean? It's just
it's confusing for sure. It's confusing. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And I'm saying, yeah, you can read it and be a connoisseur of comics and a hardcore fanatic and know all about the Spider-Man issues. But when this came out and you looked at it on the newsstand, you're like, what the hell's going on here? So, I mean, you would still buy it because it's Spider-Man, obviously, but it's not a good one. Let me do one more and then I'll move on. We'll be done with some early Spideys here. Here we go. It's just a mess, basically. I mean, nothing is exceptionally poorly drawn. It's just.
I almost picked that one, DS.
Yeah, it's just a mess. Your eye is not drawn to anything particular. It's just a mess. Every which way is lines crisscrossing, and it's just a mess. And it's not the figures. They're all right. Spider-Man's actually drawn pretty well.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of good ones here. Yep. Terrible cover. Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah,
and then of course,
and it's not
I quite like that one.
There's nothing specific about it that's poorly drawn. It's just like it's messy and it's disorganized, and your eye jumps around, and it's not pleasing to look at as a piece of art. And it might have been a little better if he could have put some background in there, but all that clutter on a white background, it's just chaotic, and it's like a manic cover. I don't think it at all. I think it's very, very poorly done.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. I got a couple other Spider-Mans on the list, but they're way later. So those are some early Ditkos that I just always have felt are really subpar, and I never hear anybody talk about it. So I was really glad this was the topic because I know some people disagree with some of these, but yeah, I mean, it's even great artists can have really bad days, and these are some of the bad days I think Ditko had.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. We can move on to some other stuff.
Okay, Bub.
No, you're good. All right. Yeah, I'll take a quick turn. Let's see. Hold on one sec. Done here.
I do have a Ditko one coming up, but it's not a famous cover.
Yeah, I was trying to bring some.
All right, let's take a.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
So let me show. I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to show a couple of books that no one knows or cares about. So here's Catwoman 88, and what bugs me about some covers is not that they're so particularly badly drawn. This one isn't horrible, but I don't collect that many runs, but I do like runs that keep the same artist throughout, right? Especially cover artist. Right. So when Jim Balint was off of Catwoman, there's only like, I don't know, less than 10 or so, maybe there's 12 or so books that don't have Jim Balint on them. Mm-hmm. And yet to complete my run, of course, I'm going to pick those up, right?
Of course.
So then you get stuck with some crap cover like this, and the rest of the Balint covers are fantastic. And then you get this, which, if I'm not mistaken, that gun has fired.
Yes, right
in her face. And she's not hurt at all. But she's going to get him with this wrench. Don't you worry about that. The wrench is coming. That guy, she's going to get him with the wrench from here with her foot in his face. He's firing in her face. He's clearly come through the window of this truck. And yet, don't worry, Catwoman's got this. She's going to come out on top. And it's just terrible, you know? It irks me when that happens because this book is in my collection, and that makes me mad. And it's only in my collection because it fills in a run. But otherwise, I would never have bought that. It doesn't deserve my money.
Yeah, and Balint's artist usually. So that's, again, good artists can have bad days. Not everything you produce is good.
Yep. Now, this one irks me for a different reason. See if I can hold on. This one irks me for a different reason, and I'll show that real quick. So that right, look at her stomach.
What is that?
Now I call that, and please, I apologize for anyone who has never seen my channel. If this is your first time, I collect Cavewoman books, and this is by an artist named Devin Massey. And he is absolutely atrocious. Now, Brute, who used to do the interior, it's his character. He used to do the interior art and the covers. He still does covers also. So I still get them for his covers, but the interior is basically just smut, okay? Well, this is the guy that draws the smut. And he drew this cover, and it's just not for pleasantly disproportioned women. That doesn't bother me. But I call that double dong abs. That's what I call that. Because to me, it looks like two dongs straight in the middle. It has they look so weird. It's like she's smuggling two kielbasa sausages or something.
Yeah, I was going to say it looked like a hot dog.
Isn't that hideous?
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah, it's like, there's the muscles don't run that way. I mean.
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff on her that doesn't run that way.
I mean, what is he thinking?
It's pretty bad.
But I tell you that this is common. He's not the only one that does this. I see that in a lot of, I pick up a lot of, kind of risque comics or, whatever, sexy lady covers or whatever you want to call it, even good girl art. But that way of drawing abs, I've seen Frank Cho do it, and he's fantastic, but I've seen him do it. Definitely seen who was it? J. Scott Campbell has done it from time to time. And they just do that kind of, it's just weird. Like they think that that's what abs look like. I've never seen a pair of abs look like that. And look, it even looks bad from far away. It almost looks worse from far away. So it's
totally ridiculous, especially considering the physique of the lady. It sort of accentuates it all the more. So
yeah, it just looks horrible.
Terrible.
And I will show this screen. I don't know how to do it. Let's see.
Yeah, a couple of comments here. Alien, as somebody's saying. Yeah, like it's about the chest burst out of her. Yeah.
And here's a classic. You knew
Gastric
Liefeld
bypass.
was going to be on this list.
Oh yeah.
He has to be on this list.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of
and there he
aliens,
is.
Yeah.
So that's Captain America #6, but they're all hideous in this volume 2 of Captain America that they gave to Liefeld. Absolutely horrible. It doesn't get much worse than that. And that chest on Cap is just freaking. See if we can zoom in on that at all. Let's see. Look at that chest. It's just horrible. There's no excuse for this. If you're a professional artist, there's no excuse for this.
The man is deformed.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I didn't pick any Liefeld covers because I figured that's just too much. That's too much low hanging fruit.
Hey, I live off low hanging fruit. What are you talking about?
I pulled one Liefeld cover just because I feel like if we're going to do this topic, we've got to have at least one Liefeld. So I pulled one just in case you guys didn't. Glad Bub did. I've got one on the show.
I didn't.
And I'll show one more before I pass it along.
Is that Zemo over there? Yeah, that's Zemo. He looks like the Scarecrow.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, that's weird.
And look at this mess.
Pumpkinkin. Yeah, that's right, Bake.
Oh, that's the holographic shimmering foil thing.
Yep.
Puke.
Yep.
Fantastic Four, 375.
Yep.
Now, this checks all the boxes. It's very 90s inspired hideousness, ridiculously sized guns. All your favorite characters have terrible new outfits. Look at the Human Torch's jacket. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Look at the Human Torch's jacket.
Yeah.
It's freaking horrible.
Those
just
black
terrible.
jackets.
I've never seen that.
Oh man!
And I was a big fan of this outfit for the Invisible Woman. I liked it. Invisible Girl, whatever you want to call her. But they even managed to screw that up by taking the butt of the gun and using it to block, like the stock blocks the boob window, which was the only redeemable quality about this outfit. So you even lost me there.
I do like the oversized 90s guns on
they
the cover.
do.
I had a copy of this when it came out. I remember owning this.
Scroll up to the top, Bub, and read what it says way up there.
This is not your parents' comic magazine.
That's right.
They've used that a bunch.
Yeah. This is
And
not
then,
your parents' comic magazine.
Roger's always favorite Roger's 375th anniversary spectacular.
That's a lot of anniversaries.
Now there's a reason why my Fantastic Four run ended at the Simonson run, okay? Because those after that they were terrible, awful.
It's just terrible, man.
Wow.
Look at Seawood's got it right. Look, even Johnny Storm gets cold sometimes.
Yeah.
He's got
the jacket is not. There's a question here by Tim. Why is the jacket not burning? The Mr. Fantastic made their clothes out of unstable molecules, so that none of their clothes burn. They became invisible. When they become invisible, they stretch the whole bit. That was a gimmick in Fantastic Four.
And this one says the thumb, but I'm sure it's the thing. Look at the thing down here. Packing that big gun, which he doesn't need. He's the thing. And look at his helmet. Oh my gosh. They put a helmet on Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
It's like a War Machine helmet.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah.
He's saying, who drew that? I don't even know who drew this. I don't think anyone drew this.
I kind of like that outfit on the left. Who's that girl on the left with the purple? And that's a kind of a cool outfit.
Who would know? Who would know who that is?
You mean the scroll or the?
No, further down, not the scroll. On the bottom.
Oh, I don't know that she came in after my run, so I don't know who she is.
Yeah, with the red hair or whatever.
Maybe somebody in the chat knows.
It's kind of a cool outfit. She's got the purple over her eyes, and then the outfit's kind of cool. She's got spacey sort of shoulder things. Yeah, it's not bad.
Might be Titania.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that though. Yeah, not sure.
Well, it's terrible. I think this may be. I'd be surprised if you guys can show me a cover that's worse than this.
Oh,
right.
I got a few that make that look like a Rembrandt.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. Hold on.
See what Roger does.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's start with. Okay. Again, some covers. It's not. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look where they
hold
put
on.
this.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to get to you. Freezing up. Okay.
All right.
Let me get. Is it on you now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's taking it a minute. There's so much. There's so many screens. All right, give me a minute.
Let's see if there's anybody here. Let's maybe we should just. How about shout out the chat here while you're doing that?
Yeah, go ahead. Shout out the chat.
All right, let's see who we got here. We got the Grayman in here. We got Mr. Gretzky, Man from Beantown, Mike Area 51 is in here. My buddy Unruly Simeon, Tim the Comic Collector. We got All-Star Chat. We got Don the Mastodon in here. We got Poor Mike, Harry Slotos. How you doing, buddy? We got Bake the Snake in here. We got Bigglesworth, my buddy Doug. We got Two Brothers Comics, newer channel, and they're just guns a-blazing, moving ahead in the community. C. Woodard, one of my absolute favorite guys here in the community. How you doing, Carson? Let's see who else we got in here. Mark Knapp, my future moderator. Pope Cerebus the First. How you doing? A very, very loyal member here of the No Faces chat. And I saw Man Cave Comics. How you doing? He's still running a contest, by the way. He extended it. Bub, so you're in.
What? No.
Yeah.
You know, at one time I was one of the few entrants in that. Oh, that stinks.
Silver Age Dave is in.
Yeah, I wanted to be the only one in.
No, Grayman also got in later. Or no, somebody else got in later. Oh no, Biggie got in there. Yeah, Biggie. Mark Spector is in here. How you doing? Great. He won that great prize package from Lawrence, King of Comicdom. Steve, I love Disney and comics. How you doing? Steve and Spock. Steve and the dogs. The Spock is the dog. Let's see who else is up in here. I already said. I think I saw. Yep, there's Bad Dad. How you doing, Morris? DS is in here. Who cares? Let's see who else is in here. Metarog. Who cares? Let's see. I think I got pretty much everybody. Still. Oh, it's on me. Okay, good. All right. So, look at this, guys. This is actually an amalgamation of 4 previous covers. But look where they stuck this announcement. No ads, all action from cover to cover, right smack in the middle where it covers part of the cover. Okay? I mean, isn't that the most ridiculous placement? Why didn't they make a little bit down here or something? No, smack in the middle. And yeah, it's true. All action from cover to cover, no ads. That's true. You know why? Because it's all reprints. Okay? And that's not the kicker. I gotta show you this, guys. I gotta show you this. So they reprint 4 stories from 4 issues, but I guess they didn't have enough space. So you know what they did? They reprinted the last 2 pages on the inside back cover and the back cover. Okay? Black and white, no color, no nothing. So, what were they thinking? I don't know. Maybe they weren't thinking. But again, the cover itself is not all that bad. But when you put that big old circle in there, it's almost like a big coffee stain in the middle. It's like terrible, awful. Let's see what else.
Yeah, there's a pre-code horror book, and I tried to find it, but I couldn't remember which one it was. But it's similar to that one with the ad over the front. It's got a creature on the front that's the draw for the PCH book, and it's got a square over it that says, "What does he look like?" And I guess it's supposed to draw you in, but it just destroys the cover because the whole point of the cover is to see the monster, and it's covered with a box.
Right. Hey, Doomsday Comics, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Haven't seen him in a while. All right, here's another one, guys. I love yellow background covers, right? All right, but look at here. Look at this. First of all, this bottom part is a picture. Okay, that is a picture.
Oh yeah.
Then you have a mattress, unfabricated mattress with springs, no background, and you got a little girl over here with a dolly and some kind of contraption running it, and Superboy running in, and all he's saying is, "Oh no!" Now that super brain little kook built herself a scrap iron flying carpet. And so why are you even like bothering her? She's not hurting anybody. She's ridiculous, you know. And then of course it says secret of super. Again, no background. Picture in the bottom, a weird unfabricated mattress with a girl and Superboy investigating with no background.
I'll tell you, as an artist, that's got to be one of the least fun days to go to work when you know that your job that day is to draw a box spring.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's gotta be definitely something you would doodle at the DMV to kill time, not something you would draw with talent and enthusiasm for a comic book cover. So,
right. Just
did a good job on it. I mean, as far as box springs go, that's one of the better box.
Yeah, it's a great box spring, but it's a ridiculous concept. Beyond the execution being just so, it's a ridiculous concept. Why make this cover? You could have done 100 better covers than this, rather than an old a box spring with no fabric on it and a total yellow empty background and a picture down there. Totally ridiculous, just lazy and just unimaginative as can be. Okay, speaking of that, I know this one, I don't know if people will agree with me on this one, okay? Because again, we're talking about Watchmen, ooh, Dave Gibbons, and it's one of the best, it is one of the best, series to read. I agree with you on that one. But here, they just took the day off, right? Because it's a blank cover except for this figure here, which is, it's a butterfly and it looks like some flowers or so, and that's it. But it's confusing. It's not really clear what it's meant to be. At least to me it is what it's meant to be. I really don't know.
What is it? Like, did you read the story? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it was like a Rorschach face, but it's not. I don't think so. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure what that's. Is it supposed to be a fish? Maybe. I don't know.
Is it like the paper's torn and we're seeing through it or something?
It could be. It could be. That could be. It could be.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. If maybe somebody in the chat knows more, fine. But I don't know. It's just it's not that it's poorly drawn or anything like that. It's just that the concept is confusing. Okay, so. And of course, with all the negative space there, you're like,
That's a great book to bring to a con for a sketch or a remark signature, though.
Yeah, up here. Perfect.
Yeah,
we have plenty of space up there. But it's not that it's terrible and it's not like visually unappealing.
Just have someone draw it.
It's just
Well, they really tried to push the envelope with Watchmen when it came out, which they did a fantastic job of, and they tried something new, and even the covers are interesting and unique and different, but they missed the mark on this one. I agree.
Ian says it's snoring the terrarium. So that would make sense. Then. But again, you have to really deep dive into it. Really doesn't really give you any kind of input by it. So that's again not terrible as far as visually or anything. It's just that not much there and confusing. I'll do one more and then you guys can hit it again here. This cover has always bothered me. I mean, for years has bothered me because it's lazy and it's poorly drawn and the anatomy is totally off. I mean, look at Spider-Man here. It looks like he either is anorexic or he just went through food poisoning or something. And look at that knee. Look at that.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. He looks like it's like he's 95 years old or something.
Yeah, is he aging in the story? No, he isn't. I read the story. It's not. And then look at this figure of supposedly this guy being killed by all these spiders. Very like, it's like not very defined. It's very like rough. Those spiders are
good either.
Are very, not
no,
detailed.
Spiders aren't even good. You're right.
Yeah, they're not. And then again, no background, just yellow space back there. But that Spider-Man figure, that, my God, that's terrible.
I think there's a place for the no background, but it's not on an action cover. But when you have like Wolverine Limited Series 1 through 4, those backgrounds are just flat colors, but they're portraits almost. They're not action scenes. When you got an action scene like that one, there should be a little bit more.
Yeah, Simeon, Spidey looks like a gymnast that spiraled down into the porn industry. Oh, Simeon, you are a treasure, man. That is on point. Hey, Jeff Comics, Joe Bag of Sevens, Carolina Chris 26. How you doing? Welcome.
Nice. What's up, Joey Bags?
When the artist told them that he was an arachnid man, he thought they arthritic instead of arachnid. That's a good one, Greg. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, this cover is amongst the worst I have ever seen. This guy, it's by Mike Nasser, and he did some good stuff on the Legion back in the 70s and 80s, but this is horrible. So I got more, but I'll let you guys throw in a few.
All right. Well, I've got a few here I'll show that some people may.
You want it on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
And since I threw Ditko under the bus, why not throw Kirby under the bus, right?
Uh-oh. Biggie better not be in the chat.
Captain Victory, number 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what's up with the arm. It looks detached. I don't know what's up with the head.
Double jointed.
Not Kirby's best work. And it's just... I don't know. The colors are not good either, but he probably didn't choose those. But the head and the arm up top there on this figure of Captain Victory leave a lot to be desired. And it's tough to find something by Kirby that's not good. And that's why this stands out, because he's so awesome that if he's even off a little bit, it's very noticeable, like it is on this Captain Victory number 9. And yeah, I mean, this arm and this head, I don't know what's going on there.
That arm really does it.
It's almost like he forgot to draw the arm, and they were like, Jack, you forgot the arm. Here, take this back, put an arm on there. Or he just drew an arm separately, and they superimposed it, and the paper slipped. And it's not where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
It does look very odd. Very odd.
That's a rough one. So that's Kirby. I didn't want to throw Ditko under the bus without throwing Kirby under the bus.
We're throwing everybody under the bus.
Kirby, that's not very good.
Yeah. Nobody's off our radar today.
Yeah. So I pulled one for Bub, Wolverine fan. So here is a classically bad Wolverine cover.
I think I know which one's coming. Oh no!
Oh yeah, Revolver.
That's not the one I thought.
Wolverine Revolver.
Yeah, I used to
feast your eyes on this.
Wow.
I used to have that book, and the only thing that makes me mad when people say that this is one of the worst covers ever drawn is that the interior is just as bad. If you've never owned this book, the one thing you can say is, yes, it's a hideous cover, but at least it told you what you were in for the rest of the book.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's consistent then. I mean, it's got an interesting art style. It's almost like a painted cover. And it's not like yeah, and it's not like there's one thing that's off. I mean, obviously this teeth are off.
What's up with that dental work? Oof.
It's just the whole thing is just it's just bizarrely bad.
Those claws look like sabers. I mean,
yeah. I mean, the attachments are not very good on the hands either.
I mean, those would rip the top of his hands right off by leverage alone.
Yeah. So yeah, that one for Bub. Here's one Roger probably knows more than Bub does, but
oh man, that's on my list.
Oh yeah.
I don't blame you. It's horrible.
Yep.
It's creepy.
It is
very creepy.
It's straight up creepy.
And it's an Infinity cover.
An Infinity. Yep.
But I mean, it's got the rug even down here, and it is creepy, and it's bizarre, and it's just weird, and it's Captain Marvel 6 from the 70s series.
Shazam 6. Yeah. Wow.
Here's my Liefeld contribution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Same
So
run too.
I don't know what's up with the head. This woman's head sort of like floating down here.
Floating head. Yeah.
This arm. Where is that arm coming from underneath her? What the hell?
Oh man.
And then, of course, I mean, this face is not even a human face. I don't know what's up with the hair. The veins are the arm. It's just, I mean, it's Liefeld, and
that's all you got to say.
The cross hatching on the leg, is that supposed to be the hair on his legs, or is that webbing that he stole from the Ditko Spider-Man books? I don't know what's going on. It's on his chest too.
And what's up with those?
How about the most unnatural shirt rip you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it a top ripped and he put the shirt back on? It's terrible.
I don't know. And then I know you've got
oh man.
You know, who is this? Nick Fury, I guess, is supposed to be in the background. Yeah. You could have taken the foot out. It doesn't need to be there.
That's true.
I mean, come on, seriously.
Fury looks like he's got dentures on. I mean, it's.
And then you've got the hand. I guess this is his fist or his hand coming out from under the shield here in the front. And I don't. Is it? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah, the fact that we are puzzled about it is all you need to know.
And really, the thing for me, all of it's so bad, but the thing that's the worst on here is this floating woman's oval head. I don't know where that's coming from.
Creepy. That's creepy. Yeah, that is very creepy. You're right. Yeah. So I think. Yeah.
I'll show the last one here, and then we can move on.
Yeah, Pope got it right on the nose. Oh God, that whole series Arrow was trash. Yeah, he's right. Okay,
I like that one.
I had that one on my list.
I like that one.
I had that one.
I have no words.
Here.
You can just look at it. There it is.
Man. Yeah, isn't that the laziest cover you ever seen?
They couldn't.
I like that cover.
You would think the photographer would at least try to angle it so that his reflection is not in the photo.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like the way it says. I like the way it says special issue up here. You know.
It's special, all right.
It's special, all right. Because you know what they did is that they couldn't. This is what it seems to me happened, right? The cover art didn't come in time, so you know they told, hey, go get your nephew that had that Spider-Man costume in Halloween last year. Get him up here and take a picture of him downstairs. And that's the cover. Yeah,
so it's bad, obviously. So
it's terrible.
Yeah, so that's what I've got for that round.
Good choice on that one, obviously.
Well, you took one of my books. I thought you were going to take two on this one, but you took one. That's okay. Nice, we can recover.
Yep.
Yeah, and nobody knows who this guy is on this cover either, right? Just some random dude.
No, he wasn't from the TV show because somebody said that they liked the live action TV show. He wasn't the guy in the TV show.
Oh, okay.
He was like a random, model. He was like, I think he was pushing a sandwich cart at Marvel, and they.
That's the that's the cousin of the guy who brings around the coffee cart. You know, I mean.
Oh, it's his cousin?
Yeah,
not even the real coffee cart guy.
Who was that guy? Was Spider-Man in the office party at Halloween last year? Yeah, bring him over here.
And it looks like they took a photo at Marvel Studios, and maybe that's like stacks of original art behind them rolled up or something. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
It's horrible.
It's bad.
Lazy.
But I still think that that's not the worst Spider-Man cover, which I'm about to present to you now. I believe is the worst Spider-Man cover. Spider-Man number 400. Amazing Spider-Man 400.
Yeah, I almost went with that on my list too.
Yeah.
I've had this book in my hand in person. And you still can't see. Like you would think that there's something going on with the screen. It's that bad in person. You just can't tell what the heck is going on. I think it's supposed to be like a tombstone.
Yeah, because I think that's where Aunt May supposedly died in that issue.
Yeah, but you just can't see it. You can't read it. Thing's a daggum mess. I mean, I'll try and blow it up.
That's a good one.
It's just horrible. It's like, where is the cover? It's just hideous. And it really falls into that gimmick, where they're like, let's just make something different about it. Yeah. And let's make it, eye-catching, but it doesn't even do that well. Like it doesn't even because I collect some of those gimmicky covers and I can't even get into the gimmick of this. Like this doesn't even make me happy. Like I'm like, oh, I've never had one that was this bad. Like that's about the only gimmick I could find in it.
Yeah, there was a Fantastic Four that was like a white embossed cover too. So
Now I like those. I've got those.
Yeah.
I have those for two reasons. I have the white one and the red one.
Yeah.
And I have those because that is the first appearance of Sue Storm's boob window. That is her first costume change in that one. And it's a hilarious dialogue between her and Reed Richards. And it's got good, visuals. So I like that one.
So, Bub, do you own a copy of this Spider-Man?
No. I have held it in my hand, and I have chosen not to buy it for $1.
You should buy it, or maybe I will, and just press it and see what happens. See if you can get the entire.
It's embossed, so right. It's embossed cover, so I think you might flatten it even more.
I'd be afraid to hurt my wrist with that.
Yeah. So.
All right, and I guess now for my last one, because DS stole my other one. Let's see.
Which one did I steal?
The Shazam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which I just think is one of the creepiest covers ever. Look at this Superman number 695. This is another one of those high gimmick covers. Can you even see? But here's a spoiler. There's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And what is this?
Wow.
That's a mess.
Wow. Some kind
Even
of
Lobo couldn't save this cover.
Is that supposed to be his reflection?
Yeah, it's a reflection.
Is that reflection? Oh, okay.
But it's not. It is, but it's not. Like the guy's behind him, but he's not behind him. It's just terrible. It's ugly. It's hideous. And in person, it's even uglier. I promise you. That's some ugly stuff.
Yeah. The
and we'll show it one more time because I hate it so bad.
The background figure
Shazam number 6
is way too dark. If they want to get that reflection effect, it's way too dark. So yeah.
And I think this is the creepiest one shown tonight. Look at that kid sucking his thumb.
Yeah.
It reminds me
so
of Monty
bad.
Python Flying Circus intro or something.
Yes, it does.
Which might have been the influences this at the same time that was coming out in the 70s, and the artist might have liked that and tried to do something similar or something. I don't know. Little cutout images. I can almost hear the Monty Python theme in the background when I look at this.
Bake the Snake says he wants that book now. You've started a trend. Oh man.
Now for something
covers. If you collect Infinity covers, you've got to get that one. You can't leave that one out.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that happening.
Yeah, Sgt. Pepper's album cover, Bake the Snake says, is similar to that.
Mm. Well, I got some more, guys. If you want to see some more just terrible stuff, I've got a few more.
I'm out. You out, DS? We'll take a look at a couple more Rogers.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I had a couple that I don't know that they're really that bad, but I just let me see what Roger has. I'll let me rethink these. I'm just not sure.
All right, I'm going.
And I have to say, Roger, that I know you're putting up real books, right? And we're putting up pictures of books mostly. Yeah. But I don't know if that's something to be proud of. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, it's
because when you're saying the worst covers, I'm thinking you mean the worst covers in my collection. I think I only have like 3 covers that I don't like in my collection, and you're like, oh no, let's put up all. Like I don't have any real covers, but I hate a cover that bad unless it fills in a run or something. I usually don't buy it.
Well, that you said a key word there. 2 reasons why I have these. Right, one is that I'm a run collector, you know that, and some of my runs go 25, 30 years. So, there's going to be some dogs in there. And second of all, I am not a cover collector. The cover is to me the least important part. So if the story elements are good, regardless of how the cover looks, I'm okay with it, right? But I'm showing you a few here that this one I have specifically for a specific reason. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, it kind of reminds me of Rivet, like Planet Comics, the early ones.
Yeah. What does that say? Nutella?
Yeah, you're right. Neutro, right?
Oh,
Neutro.
okay.
This to me, and you can quote me on this in the chat, guys. This to me is possibly the worst comic book cover to cover ever published. Okay. as far as this, I don't want to use this word because it seems way too proper, right? But the synergy or lack of between the art and the writing in this comic is startling.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You think the cover's bad? You should see the interior. Okay,
I think that cover's not bad.
But you know, I mean, I like robot covers and the whole bit, but look where this ray is coming from. Is that coming from his palm, his pinky? Where is that going down to? And look at the inking here, guys. Look at that. It's like somebody just scribbled on his gauntlet there.
Wow.
And those backgrounds are just so how should we say, pedestrian, just like they're barely there. And they're look at this guy. He's supposed to be a normal human, right? He almost looked Cro-Magnon like.
Wow.
And then look, this is what gets me here. Neutro does not know the difference between right and wrong. Well, let me tell you, neither did the artist, because this is really a terrible comic. Again, if you look inside, there are panels where, you know, anatomy is wrong. There's double jointedness. There's incredibly banal and just ridiculous dialogue. But this cover itself, I mean, is just absolutely horrible. Look at the hips on this thing.
He kind of reminds me of Spectre Man, though, which was a big show that I liked when I was a kid.
Yep. And look at the face on this guy.
Yeah, but I like the electric.
The electric effect is nice. Yeah, you're right. But look how those rays are coming. One out of his thumb. How is he able to direct that? This thing's coming right at him, and this one down from his palm somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Just really bad.
I've never seen that book before.
Yeah, and that's because you still have your vision, okay? Because it really is, it's excruciating, okay? Now this one is bad for other reasons, and mostly it's because, you know, the artist really didn't know the characters well, okay? And that is the living laser here is holding these wands, which I'm assuming are shooting lasers. First of all, he's point blank and he missed. Okay, literally, this guy's on a hospital bed, laying still. This guy is right over him, and somehow he missed him. Okay, I don't know how that can happen. Second of all, the living laser doesn't use wands. It comes from his gauntlet itself. Around here is where the laser should be coming out of. And then you have this
on batteries, so he picked up laser pointers in the
I don't know, but he is the living laser. Okay, he's not the wanded laser. Okay, and then you have this. I'm assuming that's Rick Jones there, and you have
maybe he got so excited shooting his laser that he just missed the guy's face, just overshot him a little bit.
Right, and here's another thing that they missed the mark. When Captain Marvel is not, you know, when his body is not the one taking the mantle of Rick Jones, only Rick Jones can hear him. Yet what he says here, the living laser is reacting to it, and he's saying, "It's already too late, Marvel. You're dead." Well, he shouldn't have heard him because he's actually in his head, not out here.
Yeah, I think the Gray Man's right. That living laser is watching too much Goldfinger.
There we go. Yeah. So again, just this one is not, the art itself is not terrible, but the artist did not know the characters, and he didn't realize the powers and how the dynamic works between Captain Marvel and Rick Jones. And so because of that, they totally missed the mark on this cover. Okay. Not the art per se, but it's the everything around it is just terrible. And I'll put one more, if you'll allow me. And that's this one. All right. This is not the worst cover ever, I will agree. But to me, it bothers me. Okay. This man here with, you know, the gaps in his teeth, and he's standing in between some kind of lava pit. Okay.
Is that a George Perez cover?
No, no way. This is a Luke McDonald cover. Okay, no way. There's no George Perez in here, and it's just the shading is funky. The whatever is coming out of here is black here. These black parts here, and then you have like this magenta part here, and then you have this huge chasm under him, and he's standing in between there. Doesn't make any sense. You know, all he has to do is push him, and he down. You know. And then you have Iron Man coming over here. What's happening here? I don't know, but it just seems like a poorly conceived cover. The drawing is rough, but certainly in between a chasm like that makes no sense under any circumstances. So I just think, again, poorly conceived cover. The art is not terrible. It's not good at all. It's not terrible, but certainly the way the cover is laid out, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I expect better from a title like that of that time period. I think it should be a little better.
Yeah, he opened up a fissure between his legs. How smart is that? Why couldn't he have gone to the side and opened it? You know? Yeah.
Just terrible.
It's absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Well, I have some more, but I don't want to monopolize things, so you guys let me know.
Well, I've got one more that I want to point out because it's just interesting. Because it's not the worst cover ever, but it's not good. But here's the deal. This is a Gene Colan pencils, and then what is it? Frank Giacoa inks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure whose idea it was to color it this way and do the line work this thick, but it's poorly done by the both of them because you really what's going on here? Hold on.
What's happening? What have we done?
No, I don't know what's going on. So on the bottom here, you can't make it out real well. What's what? You really have to sort of study it to get a feel. Now he's transparent, and so this is all the stuff he's thinking about or going on in the background. But the lines on his hands are too thick that it's obstructing some of this, and it's all one color. It makes it very difficult to decipher. And you know, if he's transparent, they still put this really dark shading over his chest and shoulders.
And the Daredevil symbol is real messed up. Like on his chest, it's very odd looking.
Yeah, I think this could have been maybe executed a little better. I get the idea, but it's poorly executed by both the pencilist and the inker on this. And usually the pencilist will give some hints to the inker as to what colors he wants certain areas, and he'll draw little arrows or write it in there. So I'm not sure. I would love to see the original art for this cover, but it didn't come out well, and it's bad, I think. And now it's not the worst cover ever, but it's interesting because I think both the pencilist and the inker, both who are pretty well known and talented, botched it totally on this one as a team. So I thought that was interesting as a bad cover where it's both of them together compounded the problem and come out with this monstrosity. So that's my opinion of that one. A lot of the Daredevils, the Gene Colan Daredevils, I think leave a lot to be desired, and that's just one of them. There's another one up here. Let me see if I can remember which number it was, 21 or 22, where I think the perspective is off. This one here.
I've seen that book a bunch.
It bugs me just because Daredevil's posture. Now, this probably shouldn't be included in this show, but since I'm on the Daredevil page, he doesn't look like he's doing what he's purportedly doing in this. It looks stilted and off kilter and poorly drawn, in my opinion. It bugs me when the perspective. It almost looks like his torso is not connected to his bottom half, and they're not working together. It looks very rigid and stiff and out of whack.
And if he kicked with that force, he would be going the other way. He'd be going to his right. And he couldn't. There's no way he could hold that stance. He would be broken almost in half.
Yeah, and he's hanging on like a rope or something. So it's just, I don't know. It bugs me when I see this one because I think
the physics are off
just,
totally. Yeah.
The action is not. I mean, I can't relate to the way the action's supposed to be happening. It doesn't flow. It just seems stiff and jaunted. I don't like. So that's all I got. Some of the Daredevils bug me like that, but
yeah. A few of the Colan things.
That's it. There's this photo cover here though. It's a cool one. I don't think this is bad. I think this is a cool cover.
Yeah, I like that one.
No, that's a good one. Yeah.
I like all those photo covers background. I don't have. Yeah. I think I might have one of them, but
And that's not really a photo cover, but I think it was traced from a photo or something. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Submariner 7 or something like that has a good one too, with a cityscape in the back.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah. Another one that's.
Well, now you're just picking on Daredevil. I'm taking you off.
Picking on Daredevil now. Just picking on Daredevil. Just picking on Daredevil.
Hey, that's Wally Wood's fine work right there.
It's not bad. I mean, it's cool. It reminds me of a 1950s science comic where they show like each little picture is a different era of
vignettes.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, some of the Daredevil stuff's cool. This one I really like, actually. But
yeah, I've got that one. If you want to see the real ones of those books, just check out my channel.
All right, now we're showing good ones now. We're
All right, you're cut off, DS.
All right, I'm done.
Oh man.
Well, guys, we've done it again. It's about 8:15, and Eastern time. We're gonna shut it down. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the panel. Thank everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. It's been a fantastic show. If I don't say so myself, well, I'm just saying because of the chat and because of my great co-hosts. Always a pleasure on Monday nights. Thank you so much. No Faces Comic Chat. We're here almost every Monday night. We rarely take a night off. Every now and then we got a pinch hitter or a special guest, but we're pretty solid Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern. And I don't know what the times are in the rest of the time zones out there. So I hope some of you are off work by the time we come on the West Coast, but that's where we're at. Thank you all for joining us. All the people in the chat that have jumped on. We got a Splash Page and Carolina Chris, and thanks for all the activity tonight. You guys have been on fire helping us trash these covers. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah. So and absolutely fantastic topic, Roger. And just for that reason, because of how great you did picking a topic this week, I want you to go ahead and officially request DS to pick the topic for next week. And then I have 2 weeks off.
All right.
I'm not having
to. DS is on the button.
If you give me
up with it, I'm for the anti-Mylar hour. Yeah. So.
I was gonna say, let's not do any. It has to be nothing to do with Mylar, please, or variant covers. Anything else?
Oh my gosh. See, I was thinking we could talk about Mylar, CGC submitting, and then modern variants. That's what I was. I'll come up with something better. I'll come up with something different.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, you've never actually completed a piece of homework before, so I'm excited to see if you do it this time.
Well, first time for everything, Bub.
DS was that guy always in the principal's office because he never had Mrs. Ross's 4th grade homework done. Never.
That's how it is. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We can go around the panel and say our goodbyes and see if there's anything coming up on the channel. DS, you got anything coming up on your channel?
Yes, I have CGC unboxings. I've got one modern submission that's been shipped, and I should have it in the next couple of days. And I got another one that was just shipped today, and it's the modern submission. I got 5 bronze, late bronze coming back, and right after that, like a week later, I'll have 10 early bronze with a couple silver in there coming back, and then I've got another one after that that's 10 mostly silver and some bronze. So I've got a lot of CGC unboxings coming up, and then I will be selling some books. So stay tuned.
All right, cool. Sounds good. And what about you, Roger? You got anything coming up on your channel?
Yeah.
I think that's one of my covers.
Yeah, I actually got this one for you. This is a BUB'S special here, which again I love Mike Grell, by the way.
Yeah, I like
great artist. Great.
I got to meet him too. He's a fantastic guy.
Really? Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never met him, but that's what I've heard. Yeah. But so I picked this out for you because of the posterior pose there, you know, gratuitous as can be.
Very nice.
But yeah, thank you. But yeah, tomorrow I'm actually going to be debuting a video on a very, very obscure publisher from the 60s. So if you're into just the most obscure stuff you've never heard of, see my video tomorrow. I'm going to have a video. I've won some contests, and I'm getting some stuff in from people. So I'm probably gonna, have a community spotlight on contest wins that I've gotten in. Of course, we got the roundup on Thursday. I'm also doing a tag video at some point from DC versus Marvel Geek, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get Biggie Shack's contest entry done this weekend too. So I got a lot to do this week.
Nice.
Busy.
His contest intimidates me. One of my 2020 goals was to do some more contest entries for myself and my channel, to have some of those on my channel. I just want to support the community more. I want to give back a little bit more. So I want to do some more. But man, Biggie's contest intimidates me because I don't think anyone could act like Biggie and pull it off. Now, I have to say, my favorite entry of that's been done for him so far was Comic Kid 84. Kenny did a ride along Santa Monica Boulevard, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, agreed.
And no surprise that Kenny pulled that off. But I'm no Biggie, and I'm no Kenny. So
me either. Yep. Mine's going to be a little different than most entries, but I'm not going to spoil it. I have a way of doing it, which is going to be somewhat like a parody. So let's put it that way. Sounds
good. Well, good. We look forward to all that. I don't have a whole lot coming up on my channel other than the usual. I've got some big books I've picked up that I haven't shown off yet, just because they're kind of getting stacked up on me. So I've got a few to do. And then I'm also going to be doing at some point, hopefully this weekend, and just time keeps running away from me, but I have some more marrying to do of 2 books. So I'm going to marry 2 books together.
Here comes the bride.
Yep. And then I'm also going to be doing a kind of cost and strategy comparison between submitting to different companies or different ways to preserve or to keep a book. Meaning slabbing and other such things. So I'm going to do a short, not a short video, probably a long video on that and see how that goes. It may end up getting cut into parts if it goes too long. So that'll be kind of like a screen share type thing, where I walk people through some of the processes. So a couple of things coming up on my channel. We'll see how that goes. And with any luck, we got John's Comments with Kids in the house. My goal is to get him to watch and comment on one of my videos this year. So we'll see how that goes. He's trying to get to know me in so many other ways, but maybe he'll watch one of my hauls. I don't know.
He's a busy guy.
So there you go. That's what's going on my channel. So you want to say our goodbyes, DS? We'll start with you.
Yep. Everybody do your homework. We'll see you next week. And really good chat. And I enjoyed it. This was a good show. Good stuff.
All right. Thank you. Roger?
Yeah, great stuff, guys. The chat was on fire. We had like 30 some in here at some point. Of course, the chat's always a superstar here. So yeah, I'll get out of here. I won't take too long. Everybody be blessed and be back next week.
And we are going to be here next week. I think everyone's on board, so we should be here. So we'll catch you next week on BUB'S Comics for the No Faces comic chat. We all thank you for joining us. The chat's been on fire. The panel's been great. Thank you, Roger, for a great topic, and I can't wait till next week. As always, we'll turn it off tonight, and I'll be looking forward to next week. So remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye, guys.
Catch y'all later.